I'm going to talk briefly now about just some politics, world things going on. 9/11. Start off with that. 9/11. It's funny. On September 10th, the day before 9/11, September 10th, 2001, Donald Rumsfeld comes out and says, "Okay, $2.1 trillion has vanished." Okay, 2.1 trillion. The next day, airplanes hit the Pentagon and the World Trade Center. All of a sudden, the whole topic of $2.1 trillion is gone. You know, Bin Laden's family's on a plane out of the States as quick as could be. And everything's about this whole airplanes hitting stuff. First off, the airplane that hit the Pentagon, supposedly it hit wherever the archives, wherever any information was about this $2.1 trillion. Coincidence, isn't it? I don't think people need to be reminded that the Pentagon is in restricted airspace. If you go anywhere near the Pentagon without clearance, you're obliterated. You're going to be blown out of the sky. If some commercial jet happens to fly into restricted airspace and come down and hit part of the Pentagon, and all the records are for $2.1 trillion vanished the day prior. Well, okay, Donald Rumsfeld, we believe you. I mean, how? You know, the media is so manipulated and so controlled, it's sickening. You know, like, prime example, football team needs new stadium. Questionable if they'll get new stadium. All of a sudden, roof collapses on football team's current stadium. Okay? Fox News cameras capture this all perfectly from multiple angles. They happen to have cameras in the venue running at 5 a.m. 5 fucking a.m. that capture the roof collapse perfectly from multiple angles. Okay, now I'm not a rocket scientist here, but why would Fox News have cameras in the venue recording from multiple angles at 5 o'clock in the morning to capture a roof collapse perfectly? They're going to get their new venue now, of course. You know, it's my point is, everything you hear and read in the media is all designed, manufactured, manipulated to get you to believe what they want you to believe. You know, trying to talk about Montauk projects and the Philadelphia experiment, that might be a little out there for some of you people who believe that, you know, there's no aliens in this with us. You know, take a look at the Trilateral Commission. A lot of their symbolism looks an awful lot like the Greys. I don't know. None of them intimidate me. I don't give a shit. You know, I'm one of those people that all these concentration camps that exist are for. You know, my mind can't really be altered. Perhaps I'm a hybrid myself from one of the Orions, or I have no idea. I know I'm a blue blood. Not how they'll define the term blue blood, but I'm a blue blood. I'm aristocracy. You know, there's various things. The Montauk chair were experiments in mind control and time travel. It's pretty easy. Mind control is just done. As long as you know the frequencies that the brain works on, you can use mind control. Same with time travel. You just need zero time generators. You know, all this was done. It's common knowledge. You can research it all yourself. Montauk is in Montauk, New York, Long Island, New York, that general area. You know, Nikola Tesla, famous man, helped frame a lot of this. I don't think he was a bad man. He kind of wanted out of it, but you know, the effects are still ongoing. Henry Kissinger is high up within this thing. He's still running stuff. Many of the Bilderberg Group and the Trilateral Commission and all these various agencies that control our lives, that have plans which continually change. Like I said, the Orion Group was gone for a bit. You know, Greys are probably still here, but there's so many different alien groups that have been kept from you. I know it sounds crazy, but I mean, go Google it yourself. It's not me who's having these thoughts pop into his head. You know, I study and I research and I read the material. Watch Conspiracy Theory, Jesse Ventura, very good show. Does a lot of good work. Alex Jones got voted the most paranoid man in America, but I tell you, he does good work for the most part. Not to say he's not, but at any rate, yeah, I suggest to research things. You research the Montauk Project, Philadelphia Experiment, how it all ties in with 2012, the Mayan calendar, things of that nature. I'm one of those time-prompted people. Number 11 stalks me. I see it everywhere. But that's a whole nother video for a whole, you know, I'm not even going to begin. There's no point in elaborating on it. Other guys you might want to listen to. David Wilcock has some interesting opinions. George Capacilas, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but Google him. Listen to what he has to say. Much of it sounds far-fetched to me. He seems to think the planet's becoming a star. But at any rate, something's happening, as I'm sure you're all aware. 2012 is a little bit more to it than the Y2K thing, to say the least. But yeah, you know, there's big bunkers. There's a whole network of tunnels underground America. You know, if you look at the Denver airport, you see that big sign that says the New World Airport Commission. And there's all these apocalyptic paintings, even all over the Denver airport. You can go see for yourself. There's Freemasonry signs everywhere. Symbolism. I'm not necessarily for or against Freemasonry. I'm trying to educate myself on it now. Excuse me, a lot of my family was apparently involved in Freemasonry. Like my grandfather was from Kilwinning, Scotland. That's where Lodge Zero is. Oh, Montgomery of Eglinton, lots of Earls of Eglinton were Freemasonists themselves. It's been around quite a while. But Lodge Zero was actually in Kilwinning, Scotland, so I know I have lots of ties to Freemasonry. I'm not sure to the extent that they go. But like I said, I'm researching it now myself to determine whether or not Freemasonry is right for me. I'm not for it or against it. Same thing with the one world government. I'm all for it if it's implemented correctly. There's no mass genocides needed, and yes, the world is overpopulated. That's common knowledge. We have a birth rate that far outweighs the death rate. That too is common knowledge. But, you know, putting aspartame and fluoride and chemtrail, all the measures you use are countless, are endless ways to try and depopulate. You know, it's all kind of yeah, pointless. You know, follow China's lead. I'm telling you, China said, you know, 1 child per family, and for the most part, they implement it in a good percentage. It's the easiest way to thin out the population. We understand we have too many people. You know, we understand lots of people want the planet's resources. So, you know, people aren't stupid. You know, explain to them 1 child per family. Implement it immediately. You know, when faced with mass extinction, or the thought of having 1 child per family, it's a pretty easy choice. This is just my opinion. I think China has it right in the 1 child per family thing. Granted, that doesn't apply to all of China, but a good 35-40% of them are only having 1 child per family. At least the ones that remain there. Some of them come to other parts of the world to have more kids, or they're in positions or places to have more kids. But for the most part, you know, their idea is correct. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying it because, you know, it's simple mathematics. The planet doesn't have the resources to sustain our current population, let alone one with a birth rate that far outweighs the death rate. This is common sense. Okay, so, I mean, do what you can to thin out the population, but do it tactfully. That's all I'm saying. You know, mass genocide, all these things, you know, it's not going to work for you, because in the end, you know, even those who think that they're in the know are being manipulated. They might not be sure how they're being manipulated. They might think they have all the answers via all these experiments with HAARP and all this other stuff. But I mean, you know, when push comes to shove, you know, the right hand doesn't always know what the left hand is doing in any situation. You know, you might not trust the Greys. They might not trust you. You know, there's always going to be that underlying seed of doubt for everybody, everywhere. It doesn't matter what entity, from what constellation you're from. It doesn't matter. It's always going to be the same, you know, so you're going to have to work around it. I personally think I could help because I think I'm more intuitive than Joe Blow. But, you know, it is what it is. I'll elaborate much more detail on this stuff later. The whole context of this sounds a little bit ludicrous to 99.9% of the general population, so like I said, research it yourself. But I'm going to stop elaborating on this stuff right now. And most of my future videos will be focused on my own life again. Don't get me wrong, I will get further into all this stuff, but I'm going to leave well enough alone for the time being, because it's not the type of material that, well, certainly no higher ups want you talking about it. A whole lot of stuff has been kept from the human race. Even a couple of our chromosomes, the human DNA, some of the strands are complete. But, you know, our capacity is unlimited. That's what intrigues a lot of people about our kind. Yeah, they're after our DNA. That's no secret. Billy, go away. My cat is bugging. She's a good kitty, right? Alright. Anyway, so yeah, I'm Andrew Montgomery. It's my own episode of Conspiracy Theory. But, all in all, hope it gives you something to psychoanalyze or think about or do whatever you want with. But this is just another one of my videos. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more. Peace. I'm out. Thanks for listening.